let's set up a little bit of the campaign. So, for whatever reason it is, you guys find yourself on a ship on the on the ocean. You guys are are taking a trip over some little bit of dangerous waters. Not necessarily just. I mean, it could be a vacation for whoever wants to be on a vacation, or it could be a thrill kind of trip where you just decide that you need something with your life, that kind of stuff. Or maybe you're just very much into the the occult. Maybe your character is somebody that is into the occult and really wants to see if he can get to the bottom of what's happening. Because ultimately, this ship currently is going, obviously, on the water, but it's traveling. Its goal is to be able to cross the Lorne Trench, and there are many ships that do not make it across the Lorne Trench. In some cases, people have thought that maybe the the depth was not low enough, and maybe on some areas, and therefore some of the boats maybe it got stuck and eventually broke into pieces and disappeared, or that maybe a storm happened and destroyed the boat, or there's some considered fanatics that have that have also thought that maybe something was happening. Who would have thought? Who would know? But ultimately, this rich guy, Mr. Hopkins, let's call him Mr. Hopkins. Mr. Hopkins has decided that he has a lot of money, and therefore he wants to get to the bottom of whatever's happening. He does have a lot of money, and he is very interested into finding out what's going on, mainly because he wants to start an export business, and being able to send his boats through that trench will actually help him a lot, cutting costs on traveling and getting his goods to arrive much sooner. So therefore, whether you would have come on the trip, maybe just some vacationing, or maybe you will have be one of his new hires that are participating and trying to get to the bottom of it, whichever it is, you are there. So, let me move your characters. So, Arlian, who's your ninja?
His name is Alex. He's
Oh, looking at the wrong place. Okay. I see. Let's put him on the top. Alex, and then I know that Travis is using a girl.
Yep.
Isabella, and I don't know who Fiddy is using, but I'm sure he'll tell me when he comes up. So, all this, do you guys want to discuss, like, um, or introduce your characters like maybe. I mean, ultimately, you guys will see each other on the boat. That's for sure. Um, and maybe figure out what are the reasons as to why you're there.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And I suppose that introductions would be in order.
Hmm?
That I suppose that introductions would be in order.
Yep.
I'm guessing that there's a table for gambling.
You could have gambling, yeah. Yep.
Good, because my character, I named him Alex, I'll probably change the name at some point.
Okay.
Because I literally pulled that name out of my ass. He would be there playing cards.
Right. She will be there too, trying to play cards.
Okay. Perfect. So now, Mr. Hopkins, I mean, everybody will know that Mr. Hopkins is there, for sure. And he would have made it very well known that anybody that wanted to volunteer to help him ultimately figure out exactly what's happening, or or that wants to participate, or all that, would be more than welcome to join him. So, I mean, ultimately, when you guys go play cards, ultimately, people do everything on that boat. People use that area for dinner, use that area to go have drinks. There's gonna be gambling every night, and to get to where you went, you probably already spent a good week on the boat. So you would have been, playing cards, and definitely you would have seen Mr. Hopkins, where he always would have been with his wife, a very young and voluptuous woman. He is a gentleman that he will be on his 50s, yet his wife would have been probably in her young 20s. He will have a group of people around him. Talking about maybe 2 people that will be sort of like bodyguards. And not necessarily just bodyguards, but they pretty much are there to do anything and everything he needs. So at this point in time, you guys will be eating dinner at the main salon area over there at the boat. This is a big boat. Hey, what's up? It's all right. What character are you using?
I mean, depending on how it goes, I would like to. I was hoping to maybe use Fragmatello, but at the same time, I'm not sure what the timeline is with this, and he might just be like in death's door at the moment. So I can use my other character.
I mean, I would advise you to use a different character, because regardless if this happens before or after, Mattel may die.
Yeah.
And so if it happens before, it wouldn't make sense. If it happens after, it still wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. I am trying to find him. I know I made him. He was a 46-year-old. but I am not gonna lie, I don't remember his name.
Okay.
Because he was kind of like, oh yeah, let me have him as backup, and then I never really did anything
It's
with him.
not this one. Martin?
I think it's Martin, yeah.
Martin. Okay, the author?
Yeah, it's Martin. It's Martin, yeah.
Okay. Perfect. And as I was telling everybody, you are at a sort of a cruise ship. This cruise ship is it's not necessarily a typical cruise ship. This cruise ship is actually making a one-time trip over through the Lorne Trench, mainly because this gentleman, this very wealthy gentleman, Mr. Tom Hawkins, he is very interested in finding out exactly why is it that most ships, they tend to disappear when they go over the Lorne Trench. So he has decided to put together a sort of cruise ship for people and bring as many wealthy people as he can, and whoever's not wealthy, he has sent out invitations, or he has told people that they can come to the trip, and maybe they're paying, maybe your character's paying for his own ticket. However, he will give like free food and drinks and everything like that. He'll make it a very very hard time to decline this type of experience. At the same time, your character could be there for a couple of reasons. Your character could be there vacationing, could be there intrigued as to what they could find out, if anything, or where do people go when they disappear, if they disappear. Or maybe your character is somebody that is in denial and somebody that is just waiting for nothing to happen. Or maybe your character could be somebody that is into the occult and wants to figure out exactly what happens because your character wants to know. So, by the way, one thing, since this is going to be a one-shot, obviously there's not going to be a lot of freedom of choices when it comes to where you go, what to do, and what you do, and stuff like that. Most stuff is going to be whether you go or you don't go. If you don't want to go somewhere, you can go somewhere else within the ship. However, you're not going to be able to say, hey, you know what, yeah, I'm taking off. That's not going to work out.
Yeah, if you're on the ship, there's nowhere to go.
Right. So, ultimately, what is it that you guys want to do?
No, I think we lost one of us already again.
Yeah, he probably lost connection. It happened to him before.
Alright, so, I think first off, we'll just start off by playing cards.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit of gambling, a bit of drinking, a bit of just talking shit.
Perfect. So you guys will be sitting at the table, and Mr. Hopkins will be playing cards too. You guys will be sitting in different spots of the table playing cards, and that will be probably a great time for you guys to get to know each other. So the dealer starts shuffling cards and passing the cards around. So go ahead, both of you, and roll your luck. See how you guys do.
Oh, awful, looks like.
That is gonna suck. Or maybe not.
All right. That's
Gonna
not,
suck. You got 70 luck.
yeah, that's pretty good for him.
Yeah, new guy is lucky.
Yep. So you go ahead and you win that hand, and Mr. Hopkins will go ahead and say, "Oh man, I don't understand. Normally I'm so good at this. How is it that I'm not winning?" So he says again, and so how much are you guys betting, by the way?
I don't think my character would bet more than $20 per hand.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, $20 is a lot of money back then. So okay.
That'd probably be more like 5 or so.
So okay. So you would have made if you bet $5 3 times 3, you would have made at least $15 out of that. So the dealer pretty much grabs all the cards again and deals again. Go ahead and roll your luck again. Woohoo! Wow!
This was terrible.
Alright, so this time Isabella wins. She wins the $15. And Mr. Hopkins looked at his bodyguards and he's like, "Guys, what's going on here? I don't understand. Whenever we play, you guys play with me, I always beat you guys. You guys are terrible, and now I can't win. What's up here? What's going on? This is very strange." And the wife kind of giggles, like, "Hee." This is the weirdest thing. So go ahead and so the same thing happens again. And as the dealer shuffles the card, go ahead and roll your power. Nice roll. Wow.
Okay.
Okay, making a statement. Okay, so you get this strange feeling. However, nothing too crazy happens. If Fady, go ahead and roll your power. Nothing too crazy happens. All right, so Fady, you are sitting down. Your character goes ahead and sits down to play cards with them, and Mr. Hopkins. And as the dealer is shuffling the cards, all of a sudden you feel this strange thing. You kind of like stay staring at the table, and you start having a vision. On this vision, you see that there's many ships underwater, and something's swimming here and there. And every time you turn around, you're underwater, you're swimming. And every time you turn around, you don't see anything. But however, you hear it swimming right behind you. It's almost like it's swimming super fast. And then eventually you look at a ship, and the ship, right next to the ship, has got somebody's head. You can see someone's head right next to the ship, and that head just tucks in, and you can imagine that whatever was watching you just swam away behind the ship. Go ahead and roll your sanity. Nice.
I was on mute and I didn't realize. I'm sorry for hopping off. I'm still dealing with moving stuff.
Okay.
And I had to hop off for like 10 minutes to deal with something important.
Okay.
It's perfectly fine.
All right. So Mr. Hopkins starts talking since he's not winning that much. You can roll luck, by the way, one more time.
You want me to roll luck?
Yep. All right. So this hand is sort of a tie. Pretty much nobody loses any money. The house loses. So all of you make your own money. And Mr. Hopkins says, "Wow, you guys are very lucky. You must be avid players."
No, I read
really.
about it in a book a lot, and I thought I'd give it a shot.
Well, that's very good. You seem very courageous. If you know, playing cards is not for the weak-minded, and you seem to be fearless. So do you, Sarah. Have you been playing often? Do you play often, Mister? He looks at.
Not at all. Not at all, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not everything is based on skill or high proficiency. In a lot of cases, it's just a matter of luck.
Well, I don't know. I want to say that
tonight-
I'm normally very good at this game. I don't know what's happening today. I was just telling my bodyguards that I don't understand. I normally beat them really easily playing cards, and today I'm having the hardest time ever. I don't know if it's the boat or if it is just this area. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts about what could be happening with the boats? I mean, I think it's very weird. Don't you agree
Well-
that? All
well-
this-
As you know, I am a writer,
uh-huh.
and luck is not something you can depend on when you want to succeed in this business. Skill is really what it takes if you want to reliably put more books out there. As for this boat, I think there might be something in the water following us.
Have you seen something?
I'm not sure if I saw what I think I saw.
What do you think you saw? What about you two? Have you seen anything?
Sorry. Oh,
Yeah, what do you think you saw?
I'm not sure what I saw. I don't relate what I saw on the vision.
Okay. And you, Miss? I'm sorry. What what is your name?
Isabella.
Oh, okay, Miss Isabella. Have you seen anything out of the ordinary?
Seen anything out of the ordinary? No, I have not.
Oh, okay. And you, sir?
Nothing of notice, being honest.
Oh, okay. Well, you know,
We have been here for only a few days.
right? No,
Maybe
no. But
maybe a bit more.
he seems to have seen something in just a few days. So I was very surprised. I mean, ultimately, you know, this is we are traveling here on the Odessa, and this ship has never encountered anything that, I mean, anything weird. We have the best captain ever. You know, we have the best crew. Money can buy. So I don't think anything that would be normal could potentially harm us. But you know, you guys struck me as some people that are go-getters. That you definitely go for what you want, and you're open-minded. So how much would you like to make some money?
I'd love to make some money.
I'm never opposed to earning
Money.
some additional money.
Well, how would you like to be rich, to be famous?
I
Well,
famous.
It's going to be too bad.
Famous for what? At the end of the day, I don't want to be famous for
Well,
something bad.
no. I'm not proposing anybody to do anything bad. No. But famous as to, ultimately, if for whatever reason we were to discover, I don't know if you ever read this, but there's many books in which they talk about how there are many treasures underwater around these areas. And I'm sure that there's many treasures due to the fact of how many ships there are underwater. So some of them, they're bound to have some treasure in them. But there is, the old story about how this area used to be home of a of an older, I guess species we could call it. Supposedly back in the day when everything was covered in water, there used to be this fish people that apparently were having like gold and gems and things, and some people have said that some of that eventually has washed away to different areas, and that's how they have found some of the treasures they found underwater. And ultimately, I was thinking about maybe extend to you the opportunity to, in case we do find anything of interest, if you will be interested in accompanying me underwater to see what we can find.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I mean, anything we find, I will be happy to divide whatever we find in four, and we'll make it fair. You keep some, I'll keep some, and you know what? And you will be famous. Your name will be in history. Your names will be in museums across the world. Obviously, if
That
anybody.
sounds all fine and dandy. I just want the knowledge of this location.
Exactly. And you as an author, sir, you could even be writing about this whole experience.
And that's the plan.
Yeah, just imagine what kind of writer you will be in, I don't know, in 10 years after you become so famous. You will be known worldwide. People would be lining up to go buy your books.
My apologies if the question is rude, but if I'm correct about what in my assumption,
Uh-huh.
the treasures is at the bottom of the ocean. Correct? If there is a treasure.
Well, they could be at the bottom of the ocean. I mean, I
did
honestly
you-
don't know where they would be.
How did you envision us actually getting to that treasure?
Yeah, that's how we do this.
Well, one of the ways that we could get underwater will definitely be by using the diving equipment that I brought, and that it is on the ship already. We have enough diving equipment for, I don't know, maybe 20 people to come with us. We also have
Interesting.
a diving chamber. Do you
How
know what a
well
diving chamber is,
has this
sir?
investor?
Diving bell. The
Yeah, a diving bell.
bell.
Sure. Yep. You ever heard of one of those?
Yes. Well, I heard that there are people who have been using a version of that to go
Mm-hmm.
look for pearls,
Okay.
but I wasn't aware there is one that would allow us to test the bottom of the ocean.
Well, as I was saying previously, this area over here seems to be known for not being extremely deep. So therefore, I want to say that we are about the bottom of the ocean is probably less than half a mile away, if that, and only in certain parts.
Huh. That seems doable.
So ultimately, we did we went ahead and we did some modifications to the bells that we have, where we extended the length of the cords that we use, and pretty much we can use them at any depth. I mean, within the reason, right? Because we don't have, we wouldn't be able to go like, I don't know, 3 miles down. Ultimately, the pressure would destroy the bell altogether. But for something like, maybe half a mile or less, I think we will be good.
That sounds safe enough.
See, your friend
Plausible.
here knows.
What's adventure without risk at the end of the day?
Exactly. And I'm sorry, Isabella was. What are your thoughts about this? Are you an avid swimmer? Do you like this kind of expeditions?
I've never been on this sort of expedition before. I swim from time to time, and it's always intriguing to read about these sort of things. So it'd be more exciting to even give this a try firsthand.
I think. See, that's the spirit right there. I gotta say, I am impressed. And it's nice. You remind me of my spouse, and his spouse is sitting right next to him. Says, you remind me of my spouse when we met. She used to be so adventurous, and she used to like the thrill of doing things. Just go find new things, do new things, and nowadays she just sits at home, she just smokes, doesn't do anything. All she does is just get the help to go do things for her. It's oh, don't worry, I love you, honey, he says to his wife. But it's the truth. It's the truth. You don't do anything anymore. But it is nice to see that there's still some women out there in the world that like to get their hands dirty.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. You know what? Tonight we're having a little gala out here. My wife told me that she has a headache, but I will be delighted if you would like to come with me, and we could share some drinks, maybe share some ideas.
I would like for something.
Of course.
If we are gonna dive with you,
Sure.
I would like If I die, I would like your estate to give money to my family.
Okay, so if you die, you want me to go ahead and
Your estate,
send money to your family.
yes.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. um, what money?
Just enough for them to be good. As this is a risky venture, and I help my family with that.
Oh, okay. So you want to be like an employee then? You don't necessarily want to join to share on the
Ah,
loot. You want to be more of an employee then.
got you. Never mind. I do not wish to be an employee. That comes with a lot of responsibilities. I don't
Okay.
like
Okay.
them.
Yeah. No. I thought you just wanted to like come along and whatever we find we share. But if you want to
All
be
right.
if you want to be an employee, that's totally fine too. Ultimately, I'm not gonna share my loot with you. You can come in and I'll pay you a salary.
No, I see what you're saying. I would come at my own responsibility.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. It's totally fine. Um, okay, so you know what? It's getting late now. I'm going to excuse myself, and my wife and us and my wife and I will need to retreat. She's ovulating, so we need to go take care of some business. But I'm looking forward to see you tomorrow and continue chatting. Maybe see what else we can learn from each other. I wonder what have you experienced before, if anything that can be helpful to the mission.
That sounds like a plan.
All right. Well, gentlemen and lady, you have a great night.
Pleasure.
So, what do you guys like to do now that he left?
I would like to meditate and see if I can connect with whatever I saw following us.
Okay, go ahead and roll your power. Ooh. All right. So you start thinking really, really loud, like within your head, loud, like deeply, and ultimately, you get to connect with something. So again, your mind gets you to be under the water, and as you're under the water, you are swimming, and yet you turn around and something seems to be calling you, and you follow that calling, and as you follow that calling, you enter this sort of cave, right? And when you enter this cave, you see all these shadows moving on the water. These big shadows too, not small. And when you look, there's this huge head of a fish with gigantic teeth that is just right in front of you. And all of a sudden, at that moment, you just come back. Heavy breathing, like, palpitations, freaking out.
How big do I seem to be? while I was in this dream. Like, well, I would have been looking like at the floor, seeing, being like, okay, I'm bigger than this fish, I'm smaller than this fish, so I'm probably about this size.
Um, well, considering that you just saw their head, I want to say they're about your size, if not maybe a little bit bigger.
So so it was about, so I thought something about my size and a huge, even bigger fish in a cave, and then I saw a lot of other things, shadows similar to me. I'm thinking in that cave with the big fish. I'm gonna tell that to my compadres over here.
All right. So you tell them that you just had a vision after playing cards and maybe having a couple of drinks. You just had a vision, and that's what you saw under the water. What do you guys get out of that?
Right. Miss,
Mister.
no, Mister, whatever. No insult, but you sounded crazier than anything I could ever imagine at at that moment.
I understand where you're coming from. I have been in the business of writing for quite a long time. I am particularly a seeker of the hidden, of the occult, and I have heard many stories like this. That's why I'm prone to believing that what I'm seeing is true. However, I do understand why you might be reluctant to follow along with what I'm saying. However, I am sure you will not disagree that when we meet our friend later tonight, we ask for weapons to be everybody to have very powerful weapons.
I don't think he would agree to us having a weapons, although I can see him providing harpoons or spear gun.
Yes, that's
Because
what I
if
meant
we're
by
going
weapons.
diving, I don't think we will be able to
Yes,
carry and use gun.
and that's what I meant by weapons. But yes, I'm sure you will not disagree, my good friend, about us being just secure as if we don't need them, perfect. But if we need them, we have them. Regardless of whether you believe me or not.
All right. So the night goes on, and the next day comes up. You guys wake up. You guys do your thing, and you wake up, and then all of a sudden, as you wake up, the alarm sound. Wah, 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 wah. So most people end up going to the to the I'm sorry, they end up going aboard, to the top of the ship, like the main area, and when they're there, they're all freaking out. They're like, "Oh my goodness, something's happening! What's going on?" And at that point, you see that Mr. Hopkins is there. He says, "Oh, everybody, calm down. Nothing's going on. Apparently, the ship has just detected that there's something underwater. We have some new radars that just check under the water, and we have detected that there is something under the water. Most likely, it's just one of these ships that have sunk over here and ultimately we found it. And you know, I actually am looking forward to this because that's what we brought the diving equipment for. That way we can go investigate. Are you three ready to join me and become famous?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Perfect. 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 And what about you two? Because apparently the lady seems very courageous.
Well, I had another vision. I think if we are going down there, we're gonna want to make sure we have means of defending ourselves.
Of course. Yeah. Like, you know what? I totally agree. What would you like? A knife?
I think everyone should be equipped with harpoons and
Or
harpoon
spear
guns, spear guns, and stuff of that nature with multiple rounds. Everyone should be equipped with that.
I see. And just out of my own curiosity, he says, but what exactly are you trying to defend yourself of or from? Like what?
I understand you might not believe me, but this is what I saw, and I tell him what I saw.
No, I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, I tell him this is what I saw, and I tell him what I saw. I tell him I understand you might not believe me, and then I tell him what I see, and I tell him, while you might not be as inclined to believe me like my friends over here, is about safety. If you don't need to use these weapons, then perfect. However, in a scenario in which we will need to use them, you will be glad to have them.
I see. I see.
Even if Miss Crazy's version is not true, which almost certainly isn't, there are still quite a few dangerous animals underwater. And, well, it doesn't hurt to be careful, because I highly doubt you have shock sticks, and especially imagine cattle rod just for use underwater.
I see. I totally see. So, are you guys? Do you guys normally dive with weapons underwater, or is it just? I'm just trying to understand what brings this up all of a sudden.
Her
As a-
paranoia, me just wanting to be certain that I'm not going to run into native
me,
animals that tend to hunt anything that moves.
Hmm.
and for me, it's about what I saw or what I connected with that worries me. I have also heard tales of this.
And what? I hope you don't mind me asking, but what exactly did you connect with?
You don't know exactly what it was, as I was seeing through his eyes. I would venture a guess for it to be something of my size, based on what I saw. Perhaps a merfolk, as they have been mentioned in tales of this zone.
You know, this I gotta say, I totally believe you. 'Cause you know what? I go through this all the time with my spouse. But I gotta say, you know, ultimately, you are. I think you're simply having a reaction.
Panic
to it.
attack.
Mainly because you know what? Sometimes when my wife goes to bed, she has dreams, like the classic dream that she has is that I cheated on her dream, and then when she wakes up, she is all mad at me. She tells me that I did something horrendous. She wants me to apologize and do all these things, and And I haven't done anything. But all of a sudden she swears that it happened because she had a dream. So I get it. So you had a dream, and now you're concerned, and I understand. And no problem. You know what? I'm gonna give you a harpoon. That way you can feel safer. We're definitely gonna
I'm
bring.
gonna hang in.
We're gonna bring some other stuff too. Maybe we can bring some dynamite in case we have to open doors or whatever, and we don't have a way to break them.
All right, that sounds acceptable. I will hang in the back, however.
And obviously everybody's gonna be having a knife. We're not gonna bring any guns because shooting underwater is not necessarily that great of an idea.
It lacks efficiency.
But you'll have your harpoon.
All right.
Right, and Miss, is there anything that you need?
Nope. I believe just our gear to get down into the water.
Right. All right, perfect. So I just wanted to be sure that you have everything that you want to make it down there, or everything that you need to have to make it down there. I mean, ultimately, if anybody should have what she needs, I think it should be you. And but no matter. I think tonight you and I are going to be. All of us are going to be sitting down, laughing at the stories that we will tell about what we experienced today, and and someday we'll tell our children about this. But anyway, so go get ready. Go to your rooms. Get a little bit lighter of clothes because you're gonna have to be wearing a diving suit, and meet me over here. He starts talking to the other guys to start bringing the diving suits and says, "Hey, you two, start bringing the diving suits and get everything ready. We need that bell going, and I already talked to the captain. He's stopping the boat, so we're about to go down." So you guys, do you guys go to your room then to change?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I mean, you do need to be prepared.
Very well. So you head down to your rooms. You change, and eventually you walk back, I guess, if you're planning to go. When you arrive back, you see him. He's already dressed up. He's already wearing his suit. He's got one of those big masks on the top of his head. The bell is actually on the boat. You see that it opens the door, and you're able to go in there. And it's hooked by a steel cable that is, I want to say, about 5 inches thick. So it's really, really hard to break. And he's like, "Okay, well, once you guys are ready, please step through here and let's get ready, because
I'm gonna pray to the God of the sea. I'll just be like, please make sure I come back. Please make sure I come back.
And as you do that, he looks at you. He's like, "Sir, are you okay?"
I just put my hands together. I don't say it. I'm praying on my head. Please make sure I come back.
Are you
Praying silently.
you having a panic attack?
No, I'm just praying.
Oh, okay. I mean, you have to understand that it's a little bit unsettling that you are praying right before we start going underwater. I mean, you didn't decide to pray in your room before you got here. You just started praying right here as we're about to go down. So it's
That's about where we're to go down, yes.
yeah, it's a little
As I said, I am okay with
worrisome.
the risk.
And then
I
particularly
acknowledge the risk.
right after you had a conversation with me last night about bringing weapons. So I mean, not last night, today. So it's a little worrisome.
Unsettling.
We are all
noticed-
adults here. I am not. I mentioned the risk. I am also taking this risk just like you all. Does not mean I will not wish for our safety.
Oh, I hope you're. I truly hope you're wishing for our safety, because ultimately we all need to manage to come back. But okay, let's get going inside of the bell and see how we do. We already loaded the explosives. You see that in the bell there's a box, wooden box. It's got dynamite sticks. It says dynamite on it. There's a couple of rifle looking like harpoons. And a couple of flashlights, a couple of lamps, for underwater use. And that's that. Anything you guys want to do before the bell takes off?
Before boarding the bell,
Yep.
I'd like to throw. This is a tradition from some Pacific islands. Before climbing into boat, you're supposed to throw some sort of food and empty a cup of alcohol overboard to essentially appease the water spirits and gods. It makes no purpose. It serves no actual purpose, but
So you're trying to pray, or what? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to pray, or are you?
It's not a prayer. It's more like a good luck.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good luck offering.
All right, no problem. What about you, Isabella? What do you do? Do you want to do anything before?
There is not a whole lot for her to do. I know, just like seeing him pray and then seeing him throw off the food or salt off the side. Like I guess it's much more people more religious than what I thought.
Very well.
Maybe I should find a god to pray to or something real quick.
It's not that I am religious. I don't follow a god. I just acknowledge they exist and ask for their mercy.
I think that falls under categories of faith and worship.
All right, so as you gotta do that, the door closes. It latches from outside, and you see that a round circle kind of handle lock moves from the inside of the bell, and it locks. And he says, "All right, so from now on, if we want to leave, we're not going to open that door anymore. We are going to open the bottom door." So if you look at the bottom, you see that there's this gate. This one, we can open it, and the water will not come in, and we will be able to exit the bell.
Interesting. Good to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. But if you open that door on the side, all the water will come in, and there will be no safe space for us. Also, as you can see, there's this button over here, this red button. Do not press the red button unless we want to go back. This button will engage the retrieving mechanism, and the cable will start pulling up, and we will be leaving. Also, the black button that is right next to it, that one you don't want to press it at all, because if you do press it, that will detach the cable, and there's no way for us to go back up with the bell.
Huh.
And
You
swimming up half a mile is not as easy as it sounds.
Why is there such a button? I feel like that's just a safety issue.
Just in case we need it. I don't know. I didn't install it. The bell came like that, so I don't know. You may want to ask the engineers that put this thing together.
Alright.
I'm starting to very reasonably wonder if this is a good idea.
All right. Says, well, sir, look, I mean, technology. I mean, these engineers think of everything, you know. I guess if you're safely sitting on the sand and there's something going on with the cable, they can detach it, send another cable, replace the cable, and send a new cable, and then somebody can attach that new cable and be done. So, I don't know.
I see.
And at that moment, the bell just pulls up, the cable pulls up the bell, and it drops it in the water. And you guys get a little shook. And the bell starts sinking. And as it goes sinking, you know, the bell has some lights that they come on. And you can see around, you know, around the bell what's happening. And the further down you go, the darker it gets. Until you get to the bottom. When you get to the bottom, you can clearly see that there's a ship. The ship is actually not on its side, it's actually standing straight. However, it's not looking very well. I mean, it's been down there for a while, so probably all sorts of marine life is growing on it. So ultimately, Mr. Hopkins says, "Okay, well, are you guys ready? I think this is as good time as ever to go investigate."
I do agree with that.
All right. Well, let's go see and let's hope we have some luck. So he opens the bottom of the door, and you guys see how the door opens in, and the water just doesn't come in. It stays like at bay. It's really amusing. So he says, "Okay, we gotta jump. Make sure you take a deep breath when you jump, and then let's go." And he jumps out and he takes off.
You're in diving suits.
Yep.
What? Oh, right. We preserve air and save ourselves the pressure. Okay, let's go diving at the bottom of the ocean at the depth no human was meant to be.
Well, thank God for Cthulhu. So you get to the ship, and when you get to the ship, you know you can see the ship, and Mr. Hopkins is actually waving at you and telling you to come, kind of like, "Hey, come on, let's go." I mean, he cannot talk to you, but he points out. He stretches an arm and points. You guys can see this sort of light coming from inside the ship. It's almost like this light that comes in. It's very very different. Almost like a coral type light will make or something. It's like very strange.
Huh.
So
Bioluminescence.
he swims towards the door to the ship and tries to open it, and the door is kind of jammed. So he calls you again, and he pulls out a crowbar and opens the door.
Alright, I do think it's time we honor our agreement and head out after you.
And he goes in.
Alright. Are we heading in?
I mean, we accepted the agreement with the gentleman. You
Yep.
all remember to unpack your harpoons.
Right here, and I'll show it.
Yep.
Okay. Let's go.
All right. So you guys go in. When you go in, you see that the ship goes down probably 2 stories. It's got like a set of stairs that go down. However, the bottom of the ship seems to be destroyed. So when it goes down, you see some light down there. It's almost like if the ship is resting over the hole on the ground, or something like that, like a cave of sorts.
Huh. Interesting.
He says, "Oh,
Can I...
What's the state of the ship's hull? Is it just gone or is it intact? Does it seem intact?
for the harpoon."
No, for the ship's hull.
Oh, yeah, the ship's hull. Well, apparently the ship's hull is got a gigantic hole that seems to be laying over that, to where if you look at the ship from outside, you wouldn't know that it's laying over like a cave or something like that. But when you look at it from the inside, you can see definitely that there's a hole on the hull of the ship, and that there's some lightning down there. There's like a source of light. It looks, like yellowy type of light. Like if you turn
Can
on the
I,
yellow.
I would like to,
Looks
like,
You would like to what?
the hole. I would like to check if it's about the same size as I think the monster in my vision was.
Well, you didn't see a hole in your vision.
Okay. So I don't know for sure. Or I don't know at all.
No, in your vision, you just were swimming, if you recall, on your...
Then I went into a cave and there was a big fish that basically ate me.
Right. But no, you didn't see a... you were swimming, and then all of a sudden, you went into a cave. You were into a cave.
Yeah. And I'm
you
trying to
saw
see if the
this
hole in the
face.
ship is about the size of the fish in the cave.
Oh, the size of the fish. Well, you
It's
haven't
about
seen
the
it.
same size of the hole.
You haven't seen any fish, but the cave. I guess the cave could look familiar.
So, the hole in the ship, I would like to see if it's about the same size as the monster in the cave. That I saw at least.
Well, no. What you saw was about the size of a person.
Oh, I was the size of a person, and then the monster was like super big. Okay,
No.
the monster is whatever. It's not a monster. The fish is about the size of a person. Okay,
Right.
okay.
Right.
See, I thought it was kind of like the size of like a whale or something like that.
No.
Okay, all right.
You have not
Interesting.
seen anything that big yet. All right. So down you go. You start heading down, and when you go down, you see that there is a tunnel that heads on towards your right, and not too far after that, it goes down, and then after it goes down, you see that the water retreats, and Mr. Hopkins actually steps out of the water. And when he steps out of the water, he takes his helmet off of his bathing suit. And he's like, wow, look, we're breathing. There's air down here. He's talking to you. Obviously, you have some trouble hearing him because you still have those things on. But, you see that he's talking to you.
Do we have diving boards? Essentially just a piece of like board and with a chalk attached to it to write underwater.
No, you didn't bring any of that. No one.
That would have made things a bit easier.
Well, he's looking at you, and he grabs his hands, put them right next to your head, and makes the movement of take your helmet off.
I'm going to signal him. Nope. He doesn't. Is the ground made of sand or something similar?
No, there's rock. The ground is made of rock.
I mean, I can still do what they had the idea to do. I'm going to use the tip of my harpoon to write two things.
Okay.
Air, sorry, actually 3 words. Air may be poisonous.
And he says, okay, no problem. What about the other two? What about Isabella? Isabella takes her helmet off or keeps it on?
She takes it off.
Okay. And you, Fetty, what your character does?
I'm ready to dive into the water at a moment's notice and get back to the veil, so I do not take it off.
Okay. And so, Mr. Hopkins actually starts walking, and he just signals you to come. And he keeps talking to you, Isabella. He says, I don't know what's going on right now. There's no water over here. It's not like we're going to suddenly drown where there's no water, and the only source of water is behind us. The water will have to shoot up to drown, but okay. To each their own. He says, but what do you make out of this place? Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Have I seen anything like physically like this? No. And she's just kind of looking around in like wonderment.
Yeah, this is very unique to me too. I gotta be honest. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. This is totally new. Have you ever read about anything like this, or?
Has she read anything about this?
Or roll your education? I guess not.
And I also roll for that?
Sure.
So, no. 69 though.
Nothing. You can roll, Zorlian, if
That
you
it
want.
goes.
There you go. You have read in the past about the existence of caves under the water that sometimes they manage to hold the pressure off, and therefore they seem to be kind of like a bubble of sorts. The rock formation not allowing the water in, and therefore they manage to have breathable air. All right, so you guys look around and you see that there's a source of light coming out from the corner of the cave. There seems to be like a little passageway, and there seems to be light coming from there. So he says, "Okay, let's go look."
Now, what is it exactly that you see?
Well, you see the cave kind of like gets thinner, and there seems to be a passageway that you cannot see through it, but you see that it makes a turn towards the right, and there seems to be some light in there.
You say a conflict?
No. I said a source of light.
Ah, a source of light. Alright.
Yeah. So there's light. Yellow light.
Interesting.
So he walks,
Um,
and he says, "Look, fire! There's fire!"
fire.
She'll get kind of like a worried look on her face at that point.
He says, "Look, you
Yeah.
see, there's torches on the walls. That's what's providing the light.
There is what on the what?
Torches."
Oyster touches in a cave underwater in the middle of the sea. That's suspicious as fuck. I said out loud.
Well,
Yeah,
obviously, somebody lit up those torches. That's fine, because at least we know that they have to be somewhat intelligent to do that. So they're probably other people.
I'm going to.
Have you heard of anyone else coming down here?
No, I honestly don't. Truth be told, most boats avoid coming this way because, like I said, most ships tend to sink by going through this trench. Everybody just thinks that they end up hitting something because in some areas the depth is not deep enough, and therefore they
quite
end up
shallow.
beaching themselves.
So you haven't heard of people showing up here, and it's signs of intelligent life with torches, and you're not just maybe a little bit concerned?
Well, I am. I'm not gonna lie. I am concerned at the fact that I feel really sad that maybe somebody was living over here this long without being able to get out. And at the very least, we can help them come out and go back to the surface. I mean, let's be honest here. If somebody's stranded down here, they would have stayed down here because there would have been no way for them to be able to go out and swim all the way to the surface. For one, it's too long of a swim and they probably would die. For two, the pressure alone out here will cause them to die. So the best thing we can do at least is try to help them out with the bell and allow them to leave. There may be a survivor. What do you think?
You, my
Should
dear
it-
good
should it cut
sir,
him off?
are optimistic.
Well, I mean, I'm
I
really
admire
open
that.
to I'm open to suggestions. If you have any other ideas, please share them. I want to hear what you guys have to say.
I just think we should be cautious on what we do here because we're pretty far away, and someone's been down here surviving for who knows how long on who knows what. I'm just a tiny bit concerned, and you'll see her just kind of like holding onto her harpoon and kind of moving behind you two.
Well, I totally understand what you're saying and where you're coming from, and it is totally understandable. And I have to say that you have the right to be concerned. I mean, ultimately, who wouldn't be concerned, right, or something like this? Although, if it helps you feel any better, I mean, if you were trapped down here for so long, and somebody's here, just coming, and they offer, well, not they offer, but you see somebody that came down here, wouldn't you try to ask them to help you instead of just do something bad to them? I mean, wouldn't you be probably able to get a much better reaction out of them helping you instead of you doing something bad to them and potentially leaving you still back down here for a longer time?
Depends how desperate they are.
Well, why don't we go find out?
And I'm not confident enough that the bell will be able to support any larger number of people. Plus, we'd have to bring them.
Well, no, I'm talking about bringing maybe one more person. I mean, I'm not talking about bringing, a posse with us. Maybe one person.
I was talking about
I didn't realize I was muted. Again, God damn it.
I mean, if
But
there
you
is
might not
more than
realize-
one, if there is more than one person, he says, ultimately what we can do is we can all board the bell, go up, and bring that one person, and then bring the bell down again, and continue bringing people up. I mean, but I don't know how there's going to be that many survivors. I mean, let's be honest here. If there, based on what I think, there may be tops between 1 to 5 survivors at the most.
And that sounds dandy. What I want us to be concerned with as we head deeper in is isolation tends to bring out the worst in people. So we should
That's
be
why we have a harpoon.
not necessarily hostile, but cautious in our approach.
Totally. That's why you brought harpoons, and you got a knife.
Yep.
And we also have a whole box full of dynamite.
Yep. I
Did
think
you bring the dynamite with us when we left the bell?
Well, I mean, the dynamite was ultimately. I was thinking that we were going to have to blow a cave up or something to just be able to go through it, but I think, as far as I see so far, I don't see a reason to use the dynamite yet.
Let's hope that the reason won't appear.
Exactly.
Because that would mean that
Exactly.
we're stuck.
I don't.
Stuck underground, under about a lot of water.
Yes, I really like the way you think. I like how cautious you are because you think about these things. It's really nice and really important. Thank you for sharing that. I think all of
I
us,
was taught to be careful.
we need to be careful. Yes. Anyway, let's go. So he grabs the box with the dynamites, and he starts walking. And he makes a turn over there on that hallway, or that area where the torches are on the walls. You see everything's built with stone. However, at the end, once that ends, you just see that there's ocean. And you don't understand it because technically the water will be pouring in, but the water's not. The water doesn't pour in. And he says, "Holy cow, what is this?" And when you guys get to the end, you see there's a set of stairs that actually go down. And these are stairs. These are not just rocks that are probably broken and kind of look like stairs. No, these are actual stairs that head down that somebody seemed to have built. And these stairs, they go down, I want to say at least 2 stories. And at the very bottom, there's a temple. And this temple, along with this whole area, seems to be covered by a bubble of sorts. You guys seem to be inside of a bubble. That bubble seems to be holding out the water from getting into that area that you're in. So a bubble, a force field, whatever you want to call it. He goes ahead and he says, "I'm not necessarily sure if there are any survivors. I mean, I don't know any human being that has this kind of technology, or what could possibly
This is
be."
not. Yeah, no, this is incredible. Do I recognize this temple?
Something this technology.
Yeah. Could I recognize? Can I do like an occult check to see if I recognize this temple? Or the god of this
Yeah,
temple?
you can do an occult check. Everybody can roll occult if you want to.
I don't have a call from this one. Why not? Nope.
Alright. So, maybe some of you guys read before about Atlantis. So you guys might have seen, if you read before about Atlantis, how it was believed that Atlantis still existed under the water, and mermaids were a thing, and maybe fishmen were a thing too. And the book might have been talking about how somebody might have thought they ever saw a mermaid or something like that. Obviously, nobody alive said that they saw that.
Yeah.
So he says, "Okay, well, I think we need to go check out that temple. We need to see what's going on here." By the way, the temple's huge. It's not like this little 2x2 place. No, this temple is big.
I don't know which god exactly. I just know that this may be related to Atlantis.
He says, I mean, really, what's the worst we're gonna find?
Oh, I'm
now?
asking
I
you.
mean,
I'm asking
there's
you.
gotta
I'm
be
asking you. Sorry.
What?
I'm asking you. I don't know that this is. I don't know the exact god that this temple follow. I just know that it's related to Atlantis and fishermen and stuff like that, right? That's what you said.
You could make it. You could make it to be related to Poseidon if you want to be. If your character knows anything about Greek mythology or.
He does, for sure.
Things like that,
He's
which will
like
probably
basically
be more
obsessed
common.
with like mythical stuff and arcade.
Right. So he says, "Okay, well, I mean, let's go see who's in here. I mean, there's gotta be a person. Somebody's gotta be here. I mean, It's gotta be smart enough like us to be able to pull this off.
Or maybe we just found really weird ruins.
Yeah, maybe he just, whoever's here maybe was lucky enough to find some sort of technology or something, and has been waiting to be rescued.
Right.
See, I like the way you think, because you seem to continue understanding where I'm coming from. You know what? If we survive this, I'm gonna hire you, man. You're gonna be an employee of mine. We think alike. Let's go.
Well, I appreciate the offer. I myself prefer. There is certain freedom through circumstance.
Oh, that's good to know. Although, you know what? You might not be able to get hired by me because you may end up being rich after this.
Oh?
So, let's go see what kind of treasures that temple, Scott. We might be able to.
Yeah,
We might be able to send a
We
crew
might
down
have-
here to get all of the stuff.
we do want to be careful with treasure of a temple, as you might not be aware, but usually if you steal from a temple, curses follow you, and this seems like an actual godly temple, as you can see from this bubble that we found ourselves in.
Well,
It's not.
I mean, how do we even know there's a curse? We don't even know there's a treasure. Let's just go look it
If you
up.
wish.
Let's go look it up, and if there is a treasure, let's not take it ourselves. We'll send my 2 lackeys to come down here and retrieve it.
If that's what you would like to do, that's on you. I wish no part of that treasure, however.
Okay.
If that's fair. If you want the treasure, you can have my share. I just want the knowledge that we find in this place.
Sure thing. Sure thing. If you don't want the treasure, I'll have your share. That's fine. That's totally okay. I'll make sure to have it. So, all of us will divide your share among us. And
I
Alright, so he starts going downstairs. And as he goes downstairs, you see that every single step that he takes on those stairs illuminates that step that he's stepping on. It's kind of crazy because he just walks and that rock just glows when he steps on it. It's almost like nowadays, if you had some sort of pressure sensor and there would be a light attached to it. But that's what it does. And he's like, wow, this is so amazing. I don't think I've ever seen any of this. And the rock, as solid color as the rock is, when he steps on it, the rock just becomes almost as transparent as a crystal that allows the light to just come out. So he's just marveled. He just looks around. There's all sorts of algae growing on the rocks surrounding the area. Little fish swimming here and there. Very interesting. So he gets down there to the temple. Are you guys going, by the way?
I suppose it wouldn't hurt too much.
What about Isabella?
Isabella's kind of she's like, you see like a thing like she really wants to go, but she's also really hesitant. So who's ever the furthest from the back, she's like right up on whoever that is, like her.
So she will be with Federico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As he's going to the back. All right. So you get to the entrance of the temple, and when you when you look at the temple from outside, you're like, the whole temple is just built on gold. The whole temple looks built on gold. It just shines.
Amazing.
And
Amazing.
And he just touches it, and he's like, "This is actually pure gold. This is worth a lot of money. I don't understand who will have the technology to build this down here, but this is impressive."
This is truly impressive, and I'm gonna write it down. Everything I see, I'm gonna like make sketches out of it.
Okay. Like, all right, let's go inside. And when he enters inside, you see that there's women, and there's some men. They're wearing these white robes. So that they have hoods, and then along with those women, there seems to be some very strange men. The men that are very strange, they seem to be kind of like mutated, seem to be almost as if their skin is just darkening out. It's almost as if scales are growing into their skin, and they're becoming like fish. And then there are some fish man, some deep ones. There's some actual fish, gigantic fish, about 8 feet tall. That they have spears, and they have feet, they have arms, but they look 100% like a mutated fish with legs and arms. He says, "Whoa, what is that?" And go ahead and roll some sanity.
Roll what?
Sanity.
Yeah, correct.
Your favorite roll.
Too bad.
Wow, look at you guys. Whoa.
Nope.
Alright, so those of you
And
that
this was not a
pass,
fumble.
those of you that pass, go ahead and roll a 1d3. If you failed, please roll a 1d6.
Oh, so this is like guaranteed damage. Okay.
Well, no, it's just sanity loss.
Nice.
Alright.
Nice, the ninja. Look at me rolling a 3 now.
Right. So when you look at the
It's hard.
deep one, you definitely see the face that you saw on your illusion, on your vision, Martin.
And then I lost 3 sanity, right?
Yep.
That's what I was talking about.
So he says, maybe we should introduce ourselves, see if they need help, if they need us to get them out of this cave. Do you think they need help?
No.
I don't think they do. Primarily because they don't look human.
I mean, yeah, there are some humans there. There's some women and some men.
Okay, they don't look completely human.
Some of them don't. I'll give you that much. But you
Do
know
the
what?
humans look like they're in distress at all?
How do we know that they are not playing the part because they cannot escape?
I mean, have they seen us yet? Have they attempted to communicate?
Well, they seem to be talking back there and stuff. I cannot hear what they're saying. Some
But
of
have
them,
they
they
seen
seem
us
to be
and then they can
chanting
communicate with us?
something.
Or are they talking to each other and they haven't seen us yet?
Well, that is exactly what's happening too.
So if they have not seen us yet, I don't think we should show ourselves just yet, at least.
Okay.
Do the humans look like they're in distress at all?
It's kind of far to be able to tell, especially since they're wearing those hoodies. So those hoods, so you wouldn't be able to see much of their faces, though.
Even if they needed help, I don't believe we're going to be the ones that be able to help them.
So
Not against 8-foot tall fish people.
So they go ahead and they all kneel down and they start chanting something. And as they chant something, a portal opens up right over a table. A table, what it looks like a table that is made out of precious metals and stones. And in an arm, not a human arm, but kind of like a tentacle of sorts, starts crossing. Go ahead and roll sanity again, please.
Alright.
Failed again.
Go
And I
ahead
fell
and-
again.
Okay, if you pass, you roll a 1d2. If you fail, you roll a 1d4, please. Thank you.
Alright.
Alright. So, as long as you don't lose 5, you're fine. Well,
I have lost 4 so far.
right. So when you see that thing coming through, there's a tentacle of sorts, and it's a star spawn of Cthulhu coming through. It's a smaller version of Cthulhu, much smaller.
Mm.
Much smaller. It's about 10 feet tall.
Hmm.
So,
I'm gonna turn back. I'm like, nope.
it's like, well, hold on, before you leave. Maybe, if you're so worried about leaving, maybe we should just set these explosives down then and just blow up this whole place.
Do you have a way to remotely detonate these explosives?
Well, we can set up a cable and detonate it from on top of those stairs.
Alright. How long will it take for us to get into the bell,
No,
and
we're
then
not
for
going to
the
get
bell
into
to
the
get back
building.
into the ship, and for the ship to leave after we detonate this place?
We're not going to get into the building. We're just going to set
the
the
building.
explosives right out here outside the door. We're going to leave them in the box. We're just going to attach the cable to one of them, get the cable up there, and just blow it up, and then run to the underwater, and then get to the bell.
I get that. How long will it take for all of us to do My concern is this. We do this, we let them know we're here, and by the time that we get to the bell, they are already out and hunting us. I don't think that's a good idea. I think we should get back silently and just leave and come back with maybe thousands of people.
Well,
And hunt this thing
how
down.
are they gonna?
Exactly, like he said, because we know where this is at. You know this is here. We can come back. They're not taking that anywhere. Let's just go before we actually get noticed. I'm sitting there tugging on Martin's shoulder, come on, let's go.
I would advise us to go now.
What's the rush? I mean, there's so much stuff that that we can just, you know.
I'm leaving. I'm straight up leaving. I take my hand. I move his hand from me, and I'm leaving.
But you know, okay, fine. You guys go. I'll be there in just a second.
He's gonna detonate. He's gonna detonate, and he's gonna kill us all.
He
But I don't know that. I don't know that, so I'm just leaving, and I'm running.
Give me a second. Hold on.
I am sorry, but I did not sign up for killing being Satan's little sweet brother.
Yeah, same.
Isabella's falling right behind you.
Do we? No, my character will not pay that. Out of character, I wanna shoot him in the head and leave. Because I really feel like he's gonna do something really stupid right now. However, in character, I don't have that thing. That's the of doing that. So I'm just running.
You can shoot him with the...
I'm saying out of character that I want to do that. In character, I have no idea that he will do something stupid.
Okay,
So I'm just leaving.
We'll see if he does anything. I'm trying to roll for him now to see if he does anything. Although I am... Okay, I'm sorry. Let me see. Okay. Trying to find the character that I was using. One sec. Alright, so I guess I can use this. Just a moment. Come on.
I'm sorry, out of character. Also, this is out of character. I'm sorry for like running away when you're presenting like a really big juicy thing. It is also a thing of like my character is like, oh yeah, I'm not equipped to deal for this. I'm running the fuck away.
There's no need to apologize. I mean, if you're the one that chooses how you play the campaign, so. All right.
But
So-
something really stupid.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he sees that there's all these crystals and all this stuff on the temple. So he says, okay, fine. You know, he thinks to himself. It's like, okay, fine. You know what? If we're gonna leave, he pulls out his knife. If we're gonna leave, at the very least, I'm not gonna leave empty-handed. I need to have some proof that there's something over here, and that way we can send somebody later on at a later time, maybe send some army or something, and just take over this place. So he digs the knife on the temple and pulls out a gem that is in the shape of a seahorse. Puts it out. He's like, ooh, nice. And he looks at it and it starts glowing. And it glows and it glows, and you see it glow, and it glows faster and faster and faster and faster, and he's just obsessed with it. Give me just a moment.
I believe that this is what they call a no moment.
He just stands over there looking at the he just cannot stop looking at the crystal. So at that time,
We're leaving.
okay, fine. Yeah, you guys can start heading out if you want.
Yeah, I've been running the whole time back to the
Okay.
scene.
So while he does that, you started going up. The moment that you got up the stairs, then that's when you saw him just staring at the crystal, and the crystal just shining, blinking in a way. Just blinking brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter, and him just looking at it. And if you were looking at him at that moment, I mean, do you stay there looking, or do you continue running?
I never look back. I've been running away the
Okay.
whole time, just looking forward.
What about everybody else?
So, like, as she's trying to follow Martin, but she notices Mr. Hopkins not following, and she'll kind of like glance back at him to try to
Okay.
hopefully persuade him, but she sees him just kind of standing there, obviously.
Very well. So eventually, one of the deep ones come out and stabs the guy on the back with the spear, and the guy just falls to his knees and screams, "Ah!" Everybody, go ahead and roll. Listen. And nobody heard anything except maybe for Isabella that was looking down. That the guy gets speared down. Isabella,
But she
go ahead
watches
and
him
roll.
get speared down.
I'm sorry?
She watches him get speared down.
Yep. Isabella, go ahead and roll. Hold on. Let's see what this roll is. Oh man. Stealth.
Oh boy.
All right. So the deep one sees you, and when it sees you, it lifts the spear up and hits it down on the ground, and that noise illuminates the whole area. You see that now every piece of rock on the cave just glows up, and it has turned on almost as if it is some sort of an alarm light. And you start seeing how, let's see, eight deep ones come out of the temple,
Oh, fuck!
and let me see. Oh yeah, and 8 cultists, which out of those 8 cultists, let's see, let's roll 1d8 again. 5 of them are kind of like starting to turn into deep ones. They're kind of like a hybrid. And then of course there's that one star spawn of Cthulhu that is in there. The guy's like 10 feet tall. So, all right. So Isabella, your turn.
I think for this part, she's kind of staring in complete and utter shock. Like I don't know.
Run!
Royal
Like,
power.
she's kind of reaching back to see if like anyone's behind her, and starts trying to make a
Good one
turn.
lagging.
There you go. You will
Turn
have
the
enough willpower to be able to turn around and run if you want to run, or to make any
And
decision
she-
for that matter.
She'll just give like a shout, like, "We didn't take anything. We didn't do anything. It's not us. It's he." And as she says, like she just starts running.
And the that moment that you said something, they see you, and they just start running behind you. Go ahead. Let's see, Martin and Alex, and roll listen.
Oh,
Oh, so close to a fumble.
All right, so Alex, you would have heard Isabella kind of loudly telling somebody that they didn't take anything, that only Mr. Hopkins did take the crystal. So you guys finally get to the water after running. Go ahead and and try your luck to make sure that you put your helmet back on correctly if you took it off.
Yep, and I'm the
I
only one
didn't.
who took it off.
Okay. So
I did not take it off either.
Okay. So you get on the water. You get on the water and you start swimming, and you finally see the bell. Isabella, you took your helmet off. So go ahead and roll your, okay, go ahead and roll your luck now. That roll's not gonna count. Okay. Alright, so you have a hard time putting your helmet
If I
on. You
would
see
not-
that it's not clamping correctly, and the enemies are coming. They'll be here in 2 more turns. So
She's just kind of like doing like a panic, like why won't this stay on? Why won't this? Like glancing back at her, seeing if they're back there yet, and constantly trying to.
listen, yeah, you can buy listen with luck, Martin. All right, so go ahead and try your luck again, Isabella. All right, nothing.
Okay.
And try one more time. All right. Your helmet finally clamps. Go ahead and roll your dodge as one of the enemies attacks you. Oof.
Can I push?
Yeah. Well, what other option do you have?
No, I can't even buy it. Even if I spend all my luck, that's
Exactly.
not enough to cover it.
Exactly.
Shoot, man. Oh,
And a fumble too. So the one deep one. Let me just a second. Let me pull out the sheet. Great. Enemies. Here we go. He would have done 8 damage at you, stabbing you with a spear.
okay.
And then right after that, he would have jumped into the water along with all the other ones. Now, you guys, it will take you, because you gotta get outside of the cave, you gotta go onto the boat, and then out of the boat, and then go into the bell. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, at least 4 turns. So 1d4.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 turns. All right. So they jump in, and they kind of see you. You know, they barely see you swimming, and so they start chasing you. Just a moment. All right, they start swimming fast.
Yep.
When they see you, you guys go ahead and roll a 1d4, please, to see how many turns you used already. Where are you at on your? Okay, so you are definitely outside of the cave. You're pretty much coming out of the boat, and we said that there was how many deep ones?
There's
Hello.
like 8.
8 deep ones. Okay. One moment, please. Where's the roll? 2. The dice just left. Okay, so Arlian.
Yep.
Arlian. 1 second. Roll 1d2.
You cannot blame us. Our characters are decently skilled, but they're just normal people.
So they just
Yeah.
shoot the spear. Go ahead and roll your dodge, Arlian. All right, so you dodge one of the spears, And now, obviously, the deep ones just lose their spears, so they won't be able to attack you with spears anymore. At least that one. Okay, for Martin.
Yes. Roll dodge.
1 sec. Yep. Dodge.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
Oh God.
20 damage.
Yeah.
Maybe just there.
Yeah. You need to dodge. This is.
I'm gonna fucking push that.
That's fine. Yep.
There you go.
Alright, Arlen. And let's see what he does this time around. Okay, same thing. Go ahead and... Oh no, you don't need to dodge. That was a complete mess.
Lucky you.
Alright, so Arlen
Yeah.
again. And this
Discussion,
time...
is there spear guns or harpoons?
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 3 actually. 1 second, please. 3. Roll your power, Arlen.
Roll my power. Oh, fuck me.
Yes, let's
Nice.
go.
You can fuck me.
Well.
That was pretty good.
I just might survive.
Alright, Martin.
Thank
Martin, give me a moment, please. Three. Go ahead and roll your power, Martin.
Alright, hey guys, it's been a pleasure knowing you. If you know about me and how I play, you know my power always fails me. I guess that's just Frank. Just Frank. Martin is fine on power.
Alright, so Martin again. And... Okay, so this time it's gonna be dodge. Oh, but fail. And the last one. With 2, 1. So Martin again. Okay. Go ahead and roll your dodge again, please.
Me or I?
You. Alright. Alright. So go ahead now, both of you, and roll dexterity to see if you guys can hurry up to the bell. So I guess as you freak out a little bit, you know,
How much will it cost to buy that with luck? Can I do
you
that?
can't. You can't because dexterity is a stat,
Oh, it's a stat.
not a skill.
Yeah.
So,
A skills is you can buy, okay.
yeah. So, I mean, you still keep swimming at the same pace you were swimming before, but, you know, you don't have the ability to hurry up, unfortunately, because you're a little freaked out.
I have a question.
Mhm.
The harpoons guns that we have, are they attached to a rope or is it just I throw a harpoon?
No, it's kind of like a gun thing. You know, it's already inside of the gun.
Okay. So
However,
it's not like in Resident Evil where like you throw it and then a rope just extends out of that. It's more like a projectile comes out. Okay.
yeah, the projectile
Then never
comes
mind.
out, but it's got a rope to it.
Also, there is a rope
Yeah,
tied to that.
yeah. However,
I wanna aim. I wanna aim my harpoon to the bell and aim it to that, and then kind of like have it move me forward if possible.
okay. However, keep in mind that when you shoot, you stop swimming.
I will take the risk.
Okay.
And it's not really a grappling hook type thing.
Well, so that's what I didn't mean to roll that, but this is kind of my idea. I shoot it, and then I kind of wanna, once he hits the bell, I wanna cut it, and then hopefully that pushes me forward.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Would that be?
I mean,
like,
it wouldn't push you
fire-
automatically
fire-
forward, but you can use your strength to start pulling yourself towards the bell.
So do I roll strength?
Well, no, you will roll first, shooting the harpoon, which will be your. I mean, I guess it will be under handgun. It will be kind of like a handgun. So you will roll your handgun. Okay. So you succeed. It hits the bell. So now you roll your strength. All right. So you're starting to pull yourself. And let's see. And you would have lost at least one turn doing that. Of movement. Worth of movement.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And Arlian, do you just continue swimming then?
I continue swimming.
Okay. Very well.
I mean, you said you're 4 rounds out. This is
Yeah,
fourth
there's
round,
2
so
left. Right, there's 2 left. Or in your case, there's going to be 1 left. They already have 1 round left until they get to Martin, unless and he'll be fine as long as he doesn't fail the strength roll, or as long as he doesn't get speared down.
I fucked up. I misunderstood how this worked. I thought I could like use that to like kind of get to the ship like immediately, but this fucks me over because my strength is more than my dexterity. But alright, that's what I wanted to do, and my character would have made the same choices because he didn't know better.
2. Okay. And we're gonna do need a 3. Okay, there we go. Alright, 2. Arlian, roll your power. Woo.
he's becoming a Buddhist ninja when he comes out.
Okay, Arlian again. Okay. Spear. Alright. Alright. And which one are we doing this time? Alright. 1. Roll your power, Arlian.
Nice.
Yeah, some nice rolls.
I'm going to end up jinxing it.
Dutch. Arlian.
Let's see it.
God.
It's funny because he's the one furthest away and the only one there attacking.
I
Me?
think I can
No.
swing for a counterattack, so
Yeah, Arlian, go ahead and roll your Dutch. Okay, there you go.
holy shit.
There he goes.
Holy.
Okay, so now it's gonna be Martin's turn. Which one were you on? Oh, not that one. It was supposed to be a 3. 3. Okay. There we go. Okay, so Martin, go ahead and roll your power. Wow, an 8.
There
It's
you
like,
go.
I got this.
I don't like these rolls. I'm very suspicious of these rolls. I'm supposed to be bad with power. I don't like this.
Just wait till Thursday.
Go ahead and roll your dodge.
Right?
And I believe this is the last spear. Okay. And then I gotta do 2 more rolls. So we're gonna use 2, but it was supposed to be a 2. Did I roll 3 again? Come on. It's gotta be a 2. It's only 2 people. Okay. So Arlen.
What inherently happened to Isabella here? Because like she's not dead.
Martin. You?
Yeah, I'm not dead.
Oh
You threw
yeah.
a spear. You did 8 damage.
Oh, I thought you were dead. I'm sorry. We'll take care of that in a minute.
Nope.
How much? How
Well,
much?
okay, you know what? I played possum.
How
Yep.
much? How much damage do you? How much life you have left?
I took. How much luck do I have left?
No,
I
life.
have 25.
Life.
I have 3 HP left.
Okay, so you would have that's definitely a deep one. So at the very least, you would have dropped to the ground, not being able to move. Go ahead and roll your luck. All right. So the cultists will have taken you and brought you in, most likely to cure you and also to start the process of the deep ones to eventually rape you in order to be able to continue making more deep ones.
So it's just dead now.
So I think then she should have died because luck. I think the best case scenario for her is to die in that case. Bad luck will be staying alive.
Well, she has potentially the ability to escape at some point. Okay, so the last one. to Martin, yeah. No, wrong one. That one. Okay, go ahead and roll your power.
Which one?
Martin.
Me.
Okay. All right. So, Arlian, you finally get to the bell. So when you get to the bell, Arlian, do you press the red button or do you stay there waiting for Martin?
I'll wait for Martin for a few rounds.
Well, you would know that I am basically hooked into the bell as long as I can hold on to this rope. If that changes your mind.
You want me to join you?
Essentially, yes. Like, you will not know that's what I want, but you will know that I am
Well,
hooked into the
Let's
bell.
do it. Okay, so then let's do this. Arlian, go ahead and roll intelligence. Let's see if you figure that out.
Exactly, think I would be able to figure it, but
Nope,
Fuck!
you don't figure that out.
I mean,
You're waiting on
you
him.
just need to survive for 2 rounds. 1 to 2 rounds before I press the button to bail out.
Yep. So, you got into the bell. So, Martin, what do you do this round? Do you continue pulling yourself? And if you do, go ahead and roll your strength.
Do I have, and I understand if I don't, because we didn't talk about this, but by any chance, do I have like a flare I can throw?
If you didn't tell me that you had it before, no, you don't.
I understand. That's why I was asking if by any chance I would have that. Can I like basically swim with my legs and then pull myself with a rope and then just swim with my legs and pull myself with the rope. And I wanna, I wanna try
that's
to,
what you're doing every time. However, there's no way for you to be able to roll both, so you're just rolling your strength to pull yourself and be able to swim further, like faster. So okay.
Okay. Woo. Good roll. Good roll.
All right. 1 sec. So I don't need to roll that anymore.
And
because you're the
as
only
I'm
one
doing
that
this,
can
can
be
I try to
attacked.
signal to him of like start the ship? Like I make the motion of pushing.
Yeah. Well, no. If you're gonna make the motion of pushing, you're not gonna be pulling the rope anymore.
Oh, okay. Can I do the motion of pushing?
If you do that,
Instead of
you're
pulling
gonna
the-
waste another round worth of.
Oh, fuck.
Worth
I
of
guess
swim.
in that case, I will just do strength. I will just do strength.
Okay. All right. All right. So, actually, I'm sorry. No, wrong. Go ahead and roll your dodge. Never mind. Don't roll anything. So this.
All right.
So that spear. Actually, there's no more. That was the last spear then, I guess, and it just broke. So everything else is just gonna be spells. So I don't even have to roll. I only have to roll it. Okay, so I see what's going on. Okay. No, 3. There we go. Give me a second. I'm going to do. So 1. 2. 3. Go ahead and roll your power 3 times.
Okay.
Because either way, they're going to attack you anyway. So, all right.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So the second time just didn't pass, which is the blindness. So all of a sudden, you cannot see anymore. So now, I mean, you can still pull yourself on the rope. You just can't see at this point in time. Go ahead and roll 1d5. Let's see how long it's gonna.
How to character advice? Hold tight.
That's what I'm trying. Yeah, that's what. I'm not letting go of the rope. I know the rope is taking me where I need to go.
Well, hold on. We're not just out of the woods yet. First of all, we're gonna find out how many turns this is gonna take. We need a 1d5. Okay. Now I need you to roll sanity.
Yeah, that's also true. Oh wait, that's really bad.
And you lost 4 points of sanity. And the spell says that if you don't pass the sanity roll, you lose automatically 1 point of sanity. And at 5 points of sanity, that gets you into your little frenzy. You lose control of your character at that point.
All right.
So
That's awesome.
So let's see what's gonna happen to you. Bout of madness. So okay, no, but that's the other. Go ahead and roll a. Give me a second. Hold on. Let me go to the madness. Sanity. Here we are. Where's my chart? Okay, go ahead and roll a 1d8.
1d8. All right.
Yeah. Okay, 1. So this is what happens to you now.
Could be worse, but
So go ahead and roll a 1d10. Okay. And so right now, you are underwater. I'm going to describe what's happening to you. You're underwater. You have no control of your character at this time because your character is on a bout of madness. So you actually have no control of your character for 8 turns. Your character has gone blind, so go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll for me. Let's see. Go ahead and roll your luck. Let's see if your character's lucky enough to figure it out that he should continue pulling himself to the rope or not. So no. All right. So your character is just gonna stop pulling the rope and it's just gonna stay there. So obviously the deep ones, as you can imagine, they're gonna catch up with you.
Yeah, I can imagine that. That seems fair.
Okay.
I said I'm waiting 2
But
rounds before
They're not going
before
to.
hitting the button.
They're not gonna do anything to you at this moment because technically you stopped moving. So they're gonna try to stop Arlian at this time. So Arlian, be prepared. Let's do 1d3. So Arlian, first thing before we start going through this, when you see him stop swimming and let go of the rope, what do? Do you press the button or do you just stay there?
Wait, did he let go of the rope
Yep,
completely,
he did.
or
He did, and stopped swimming too.
and they just decided to ignore him to get to me? How many of them did you say there are?
There's about 6 more to take their turns because there's 8 of them.
8 of scary fish people.
Yep.
Harpoon me. Harpoon me. Harpoon me. Fish me up.
Well, he can't.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
that'll be funny because even if you try, you will have to get out of the bell. But even if you do harpoon him, you're probably gonna stab him with a harpoon, causing damage to him, possibly
I
killing him.
mean, if you go,
It might not
if you
kill
really
me.
allow
They're
it,
gonna kill me. And they're not gonna leave me a body. If you kill me, at least I have a body. I would rather have a body.
Well, yeah. So, Arlen, the question is, do you press the red button? Do you get out of the bell to go help him? What do you do? Or do you not do either of those and you just stay there trying to scream at him? Come on, let's go.
I mean, if you'd allow me to attempt to go fishing for
Sure.
him, in a sense, shoot him and try to reel him in,
You know what? Go for it.
more like just shoot him, even press the button to get the
Go
the
for it.
hell out of dodge while dragging him.
Go for it.
Okay, what do I roll for that one?
Your handgun. Just your handgun.
Oh, sweet mother of Jesus. I have nothing in handgun use.
Well, then maybe you should probably think if it's really a good idea for you to do it or not.
What?
Right.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Will you repeat?
I
Yes,
said,
you just cut off
at that
completely.
point, maybe it's a good idea for you to think if you really want to do it or not. Because maybe your character will know ahead of time that it's really bad at shooting, and therefore you're probably just going to get yourself killed. So, you know.
Like, I appreciate trying to save me, but at this point, you should stay alive and at least avenge me, you know?
Your survival
Mm.
instincts count too. You know, there's both things going on,
I
not
know.
just
Yeah,
saving someone else.
Listen. I know that,
So, okay.
and I really am sorry, but I will have to abandon.
All right. By the way,
Yeah, no, that's
uh,
fair.
by the way, that
I may try.
this thing of psychosomatic disability, that's the phobia that you end up getting if you ever end up recovering. However, chances are that they're gonna capture you, so this character's pretty much done.
Yeah.
At the very least, they're gonna capture you. They might not kill you, but they will capture you and brainwash you, or So
I mean, Alex may try to save their asses.
sure.
Of course, he's going to lie his ass off.
All right, Arlen. Let's see.
Pressing the button, and I am sorry, everyone.
Go ahead and roll your power again,
Can
Arlen.
I go down fighting, please? I would rather not get captured.
Well, you can't because you have no control of your character for the next 10 rounds. I mean, 8 rounds. Sorry.
No, I
It's
failed this
almost one
one.
round.
When you rolled an 8, I thought. See, here.
Yeah, but I also have one that I roll a 1. I thought that's the one I was rolling for.
Oh, okay. So if
I
you
thought was
okay, that's fine. So if you roll 1, when you come back, you still lost your sight, so you don't know where the rope is. So right now, actually, give me a second because I gotta finish this turns. But once I finish this turns, this will be your opportunity to figure out what you're gonna do and think about it. Because ultimately, you're not gonna know where the rope is because you can't see still.
Yeah, I think what happened is this. I saw you asked me to roll for 1d8. I roll a 1, and then you asked me to roll the 1d10, and then I roll an 8. I think maybe the 1 was to decide what kind of disability I got, and then the 8 will be for how many rounds, in which case, yeah, for 8 rounds, I don't remember anything.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't make a difference. You can't see the rope, so chances are that you don't know exactly where you're gonna go. So
Yeah.
So it will be almost impossible for you to reach the bell. 1. So Arlen, power again. Oh no, power. You fell your power, Arlen, up here. Okay. So
I failed miserably.
yeah. So Arlen, since you fell your power, you start drowning. What are you gonna do? I need you to roll. Actually, hold on. You roll your power and
For dominate.
so lose 1d8. Hypnosis. Okay, go ahead and roll your Constitution, Arlen. Okay, good. All right. So go ahead and roll your power again, please.
Nice!
All right. Now, mind you that all this is
Do you
happening at the
control them?
same time. So, it's
Do you
not like...
control them now?
So what?
Does he control them now on a 1?
No. Arlen, go ahead and roll power.
That just means I didn't drown.
Yep.
Uh,
All right, so Arlen, you go blind. Go ahead and roll 1d5 and roll sanity, please.
Four.
4 turns and roll sanity. Okay, you don't lose any sanity.
I mean, I know where the button is.
Yep.
So
You may know where the button is, that's fine. Oh, actually, 1d3, so it was a 2. So you already got that. So, alright, so go ahead and roll your luck, Arlen, real quick. Okay, so you start touching buttons. Now, if we're gonna be fair, the red button is right next to the black button. However, you're blind, and you fail your luck roll. So you press, unfortunately, the black button. And you feel the cable unhook from the bell. And as you feel the cable unhook from the bell, at first you think that the bell is just going up. But then eventually you feel the feeling that the bell actually hit the bottom of the ground. So,
and I'm guessing that bell doesn't have emergency.
well, actually,
Parts for emergency swimming out.
alright, so this is what we can do. It's up to you. But we can pretty much end the campaign over here if you want. Because technically you have two choices. Whether A, I mean, we can roll a 1d3, see what happens. But whether A, the deep ones are gonna go to the bell, they're gonna turn it around and kill you, or B, you're gonna get out of the bell trying to swim up and you're not gonna be able to make it up and they're gonna kill you, or C, you're just gonna stay in the bell forever and eventually drown. 1d3.
For deep, I'm just gonna pop myself.
1d3. Alright, so you decided that you're going to stay on the bell, I guess. Until
Yeah, you can
it's safe.
commit suicide with a harpoon quite easily. With spear gun quite easily, so there is that.
Alright. So, and that's that. I mean, ultimately, both of you, sooner or later, definitely, Martin will get captured, 100%. And then, Arlen, you will
1 second, man.
you would at least whether get captured or possibly die, because eventually by the time you get out the ship is not going to be there and your oxygen is not going to be there forever. So that's pretty much the end.
Yeah,